Hi, my name is Annabelle, and I'm a case manager with the Trust and Hope Agency. How are you today?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good, thank you for asking. So like I said, my name is Annabelle. I'm a case manager here, and basically what that means is I can connect you to any resources that you might need or be in need of. So we're going to just go over what brought you here, and then we'll see how I can best help you and how our agency can best help you.
Okay.
So can you remind me how to pronounce your name?
Adriana.
Adriana, okay. And then what are your preferred pronouns, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, she, her.
You, her? Okay, thank you. Is there anything I can do just to make you more comfortable? I can get you a glass of water. I can turn the AC up or down.
No, I think I'm okay. Thank you, though.
Okay, you're welcome. So today we're just gonna discuss what brings you to our agency, discuss any issues or concerns you have, and then we'll work together to best decide any resources that could serve you, your family, and just anything. So before we begin, I would like to address a couple of policies, specifically confidentiality. Anything you say here will remain just between me and you. Um, and then, well, one second, let me find my paper. There we go. So anything you say will just be between me and you. I am required to take notes. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Any notes I take will just stay with me, and that just will allow me to monitor what progress we've made together and to know where we are at in our sessions.
Okay.
Um, so your written permission is required for any release of any type of information, whether that be to a healthcare provider, an insurance company, anything. So unless your written permission is given, everything that is said or written here will just remain between me and you. So with that said, I am required to report to my supervisor any instances of child abuse, suicidal planning, or homicidal planning. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you have any questions about any of those?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, that is good. So how can I help you today?
So I decided to come in today because I've just been feeling really depressed and I'm not really sure how to go from here. There's a couple things. I've always been depressed and it always seems like it's been like forever, but it feels like it's been a little worse recently. So I have a 4-year-old son and my neighbor watches him, but it's been a little difficult lately with his behavior. So she's been calling me and I work at I'm an administrative assistant at a trucking company. So I work 40 hours a week and she's been calling me lately to come and pick him up, which no fault of her, she's doing me a favor. She's a little bit older, so I'm not faulting her at all, but that's been difficult to just kind of deal with. And then at work, I was passed up for a promotion for a guy that has been there for a less amount of time. So I was feeling really valued at my place of employment. And then all of a sudden it just, stopped because they gave him the promotion that I really thought that I was going to be able to get and that I am more qualified for. So that really sucked. So that just kind of like piled on top of that. And I don't really have any sources of like friends. So I have a few people that I communicate with, but I don't feel comfortable kind of sharing this. I don't want them to feel sorry for me.
Those all sound like really difficult things to be experiencing. And I just want to say I'm sorry that you are having to go through that. Um, and I completely understand why someone in your position might feel as depressed as you are, especially if you are more qualified for this position and then being overlooked by a man. That must be really difficult. I'm sorry. How
Thank
long
you.
have you been with this agency?
4 years.
4 years, my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like I've given them so much and like it's just so unfair.
Yeah, that does sound unfair. I'm really sorry, but I just want to say you sound like an incredible worker and you sound really resilient to dealing with these type of issues. So I just want to say I am proud of you
Thank
for continuing on. Um, will you tell me a little bit more about your son and the childcare arrangement?
Yeah, so he is 4. He's from me and my ex-husband are divorced when he was about a year old, and he hasn't been a part of our family at all since then. Recently, my son has started to ask a little bit more about him, and I don't have those answers. So that's also kind of been a struggle. I've been playing both mom and dad. So I understand that he wants to know a little bit more about his father. It's just natural, but it kind of hurts a little bit. To have to be able to tell him, you know, that your father doesn't care about you a little bit. So that's been a struggle. And then, so I think that that might be contributing to his behavior issues. But his name is Aiden. He goes to my neighbor when I'm at work, and then sometimes she'll just kind of invite us over for like dinner and things like that. He's a wonderful young man. You know, he's 4, he's rambunctious, he jumps around. She's about 70 years old, so it's hard for her to kind of control that. And he stopped napping, so at one point he was, you know, he'd sleep for 2 hours during the day, and she got used to that, and now all of a sudden he's just wired all day long. And then so with the not napping now, he gets a little irritable, right? So she ends up having to call me, and I have to come pick him up. I can't bring him to the office with me. It's not a good look, and I wouldn't get any work done, so I end up having to leave early sometimes, which probably doesn't look good on me.
Well, that sounds extremely difficult. I am glad to hear that you have such a supportive and a caring neighbor like that, just to have somebody. I think that's really important. And I know 4-year-old boys, they can be a little rambunctious, but they are amazing. Um, so you think that like you having to go pick up your son isn't a good look for you within your agency?
No, I don't think so. So, I am one of the only women that work there, and
Mhm.
women tend to have more responsibilities within the home, right? So I never ever hear any of my coworkers being like, "Oh, my son is sick from school, I have to go pick them up," right? It's always like
Yeah.
my wife has to go pick them up. So that's, you know, me. I have to go and
Mhm.
grab them, and I'm the sole caregiver for him. So obviously anything that I need. So I'm feeling like maybe that could have been a contributing factor, which again is unfair, but
I do think that's unfair, absolutely, but I just want to applaud just how much you do for your son
thank
because it is very clear. And I like that you emphasize that you're his mother and his father, because that is very true. You are a single mom, you're a very hardworking single mom, and it is very clear that you have a very long list of strengths when it comes to being a single parent and raising a boy. I am sorry to hear that he has been asking a lot about his father. I can only imagine how difficult that must be for you, especially because he's not in your life anymore. And so I just want to say that I am sorry for that.
you.
And children get curious, you know, it's only a natural thing. Maybe in future sessions, we could talk a little bit more about how you want to address that if the question comes up again.
Yeah, I would like that. It's been a struggle because I don't want him to feel like it's his fault.
Mhm. Of course. And you know, it's absolutely not, and it's definitely not your fault either. So, but yeah, we'll definitely go over that. Um, so with the is like childcare consistency something that you would like to like find a resource for? Like,
Yeah, I will.
okay.
Yeah, I think my
So
neighbor would like that too.
all right. So our agency provides childcare vouchers. Um,
Okay.
so I know that daycares can be extremely expensive, outrageously expensive, and I know that you're a single mom, and so I'm going to put in a request for some childcare vouchers for you and your son, and then I'll give you a list of several daycare centers in our community that accept these vouchers. Would that be okay?
That would be great. I would love for him to get out and be able to make some friends instead of my 70-year-old neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
That would be good.
Absolutely. And then by giving you a list of several, you can call up there, see what any like sort resources they offer, what activities they do, their hours, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
then you can figure out one that best suits yours and your son's needs.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. And so next, I would like to talk about this job situation. Are you
Mhm.
happy where you are?
I was until this promotion thing
Mm-hmm.
happened, so I would say not anymore.
Yeah. Would you be like, are you interested in finding a different job? Because our agency can help you with that if you would be interested in finding a new place of employment.
I would be very interested. There are a couple kind of things that are I feel like it's hindering me. I
Mhm.
only have my associates in marketing, so I feel like that's kind of the stopping point. It feels like at this point you need a bachelor's or even a master's to even get a level entry level job. And then so again, like I can't. I need to have like secure employment before I leave this job. So
Mhm.
helping me kind of sort through that would be good too.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm here for. So I know of several community job training programs.
Okay.
And so basically, these programs will just teach you necessary skills and can also just give you good things like skills and activities that you can put on your resume. We have resume building workshops as well. And so either of those could be a good resource in order to help find a more sustainable form of employment and a place where you feel more valued, because that is extremely important as well.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in being given a list of the resume workshops and the job training programs in our area?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And then will you tell me a little bit more about your depression? You said you've been depressed for quite a while.
Yeah, so it's been ever since I was little. I would go through like bouts of being like really, really sad for no reason, and I would lose interest in a lot of things that I used to enjoy. I used to love doing art, dancing, singing, things like that. And then all of a sudden I would just stop. And then so that started when I was younger, and then it starts to get a little bit better, you know, whenever my situation gets a little bit better, and then when I start to feel overwhelmed, then on top of that, my depression feels like it kicks in. I've never been actually diagnosed with it. It's just something like
Okay.
I kind of like Googled it, and like that those were the signs and symptoms of it. I've been having trouble sleeping. I haven't really been wanting to even like eat.
Mhm.
So, you know, just piling on top of things.
Yeah, and that sounds incredibly overwhelming. But I am really happy that you decided to reach out for assistance or just however we can best serve you. I think that it's really important for your son to see that because as parents, we need to be good role models, and mothers are not indestructible. So,
Yeah, I've been feeling like my patience with him is growing really thin. It
mhm,
comes with when I start to feel a lot more depressed. Things that generally he wouldn't get in trouble with fly off the handle, which isn't consistent for him, which then makes me feel even worse and then makes me feel even more depressed. So
mhm. All right. Um, So can we talk about like some of your coping mechanisms, what you do when you are feeling depressed, when your anger may escalate a little bit?
yeah, so generally what I do is I try like taking some space away and
Mhm.
take like 10 deep breaths, but it's difficult being an only parent because when he's going through a tantrum, I can't just leave him be, and then all of a sudden like my I start to escalate. So that has been coping so far, not working, but trying. That's really all that I've been doing.
Mhm. Well, would you be interested in speaking with a therapist?
Yeah, I
All
would.
right. So we will talk more about that. But before we do, I would like us to go over or to just make a plan to define a specific goal and to work together to try to reach this goal.
Okay.
So you are um, able to decide for yourself whichever you think would be best.
Okay.
And I'm here to support you in any way. But of the issues that we talked about, childcare consistency, finding a new job, and treating your depression, which of these do you think that you would be most interested in finding resources for first?
I think the biggest thing right now probably is my depression because then I
Mhm.
think I'll be in a better place to tackle the other things.
Okay, I completely agree. And if you wouldn't have had a good answer, I would have actually recommended the depression because, you said it yourself. That is the reason you came here. And so I do think that that will be a good thing to go over. So, like I mentioned, the therapy, we are in connection with an agency that does telehealth therapy. So you don't even have to meet in person. You can do
Okay.
it strictly from your computer or even your phone in the comfort of your own home.
Okay, that sounds good.
And I just starting out, I think meeting once a week with a mental health professional would be very beneficial to you.
Okay.
Do you think that could work with your schedule?
Yeah, especially if it's telehealth, then I should be able to.
Okay, awesome. And I would like to get a start on this as soon as possible, just
Okay.
because you said it's affecting your relationship with your son, your anger, your moods. So do you think this could be something we could work out within like 2 weeks of today?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So for that, I would also like, so I will provide you with a healthcare voucher. So what that is it allows you to get these necessary services without having to pay out of pocket. You said yourself you are a single mom. I don't know your insurance situation, and we can talk a little bit more about that when we go into this planning. But I do want to go ahead and give you the healthcare vouchers just because they will help with the cost of this service, and it is a service that I definitely think you are in need of. Um, and then after that, I will do my part to reach out to the agency for you. And I will let a professional know of your situation with your written consent, of course. And then I will just update them on your situation, let them know a little bit about you. And then I will give you their contact information and vice versa. And then y'all can reach out to each other and then set an appointment. Does that
Okay.
sound okay?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. And then I think usually the way they start out is they meet with their clients once weekly, usually for an hour and a half tops.
Okay.
It's all telehealth, it's all online, which is extremely beneficial, especially for people who like either don't have vehicles or they are single parents.
Mhm.
So I have found this service to be very beneficial to people in those situations. Do you think that would be okay?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Awesome. So within 2 weeks, we will try to make this happen.
Okay.
So awesome. All right, so I think our session is coming to a close. So I just want to briefly recap about everything we've talked about. So you came in to address your depression and your anger issues that have come as a result of the depression. You think that it has really, your depression has escalated because you were turned down for a promotion that was instead given to a man that had much less experience in this agency than you have. It is like extremely understandable why you are feeling depressed and why you are feeling undervalued in this agency. It is not fair. And I just want to again say that I'm sorry that you are having to go through this.
Thank you.
Another thing that you think might have affected that is your whole the inconsistency of your childcare. Although your neighbor is a good support source for you and your son, the situation about like her being able to provide childcare is a little inconsistent, which can make it difficult for you to be able to stay at your job. And then finally, your depression is getting bad. So I'm glad that we could go over together and create a goal and then the action steps to work towards that goal. Does that all sound accurate?
Yes, yeah.
Awesome. So I would like to meet again with you sometime next week.
Okay.
Is there a time or a date that would work best for you?
Anytime after 5, really?
Anytime after 5.
Yeah.
So would Thursday at maybe 5:30 work?
Yeah, that works.
Awesome. All right, so then if you'll follow me, you can walk to the front and you'll get the consent paperwork, the consent to, or the confidentiality paperwork, the consent to treat paperwork. I'll also go ahead and start with the healthcare vouchers and I'll provide those to you. And then I will go ahead and reach out either this evening or in the morning to the telehealth agency and try to figure out that arrangement.
Okay, thank you.
Does that sound good?
That sounds great.
All right, so if you'll follow me out, we'll go ahead and get started on that. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks.